Weather summer threats all week long. We're taking a closer look at potential summer weather threats to look out for.
While we're not tracking any prolonged periods of heat right now, we get excessive heat quite often in southern New England.
And the Pinpoint weather team looked back at 115 years of data and discovered some interesting findings about heat waves in Rhode Island.
Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca is here now with more. Tony?
We actually have some pretty hot weather, or at least some of the hottest weather so far the summer season, on the way over the next couple of days. Now, according to the American Red Cross, excessive heat causes more weather-related deaths than hurricanes, tornadoes, and flash floods. Now, by definition, a heat wave, at least for southern New England, is defined as 3 consecutive days of 90 degrees or higher. Now, we have found that heat waves are very common in southern New England. In fact, since 1905, there have been 78 years with heat waves, and about two-thirds of all summers. And heat waves have become more frequent in the last half century, however. In fact, sometimes the heat waves can last longer than 3 days. There have been 20 heat waves lasting 5 days or more in Rhode Island, and 2 7-day heat waves back in 1944. Now, obviously, staying hydrated in hot weather, very important. Wearing light-colored, loose-fitting clothing and avoiding strenuous activity during the hottest part of the day will help keep you safe. Of course, remember never to leave a child or a pet inside an enclosed vehicle. And a new blog post about heat waves, TJ just wrote this up, the frequency can be found on our website at WPRI.com. Feel pretty confident that over the next, I would say, couple of days, tomorrow especially, got a pretty good shot of 90 or higher. Now, some of the byproducts of excessive heat, thunderstorms, and sometimes poor air quality. In fact, we have a poor air quality alert coming up for tomorrow, beginning at 11 a.m. through 11 o'clock tomorrow evening. High concentrations of ground level ozone, so respiratory sensitive people need to be mindful of that. Had a few downpours early this afternoon. Doppler radar's quiet for now, but we'll need to keep an eye to the sky later tomorrow afternoon. With building heat and humidity, the risk of at least some isolated thunderstorms. We were tracking some storms earlier this evening approaching our area, but really fizzling out. So just a couple of showers this evening, that was about it. The air certainly feels wet with the tropical humidity in place in Providence right now, warm and muggy in the mid-70s. It'll stay in the 70s all night long. Light southwest breeze, high relative humidity. That's sometimes a tip-off that at least some dense fog will be forming, especially near the water. Starting to see hints of it now in Newport, out across the Cape and the islands. I do expect at least southern areas near the bay, both Buzzards and Narragansett Bay and the South Shore, some locally dense fog late at night and early tomorrow morning. Threat tracker now through Friday and Saturday, low-level green. However, we may need to bump up Friday afternoon into the yellow level. We're going to keep an eye on the situation, and the breakdown here is that we'll get the hot, steamy weather and an isolated thunderstorm mid to late afternoon, and some could be locally strong. So that is something that we're going to watch closely, and the heat does continue on Saturday as well. Satellite photo is quiet right now in terms of precipitation, just kind of warm and muggy. The very high dew points, all this area is shaded in dark green, indicating dew points in the lower 70s. That means that the air is very tropical, almost like in South Florida. So it doesn't take much to create a shower or a thunderstorm when you have so much moisture in the air. Futurecast really points this out well. Starting off this evening, 70s, warm and humid. You see the gray color, the low clouds and fog, especially near the South Shore. That burns off. Watch the temperatures jump rapidly by mid-afternoon, low to mid-90s, upper 70s, low 80s South Shore. The blips of yellow and orange, here it comes. Isolated strong thunderstorms after 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. This does coincide with the evening commute, so watch for this closely. And then by early tomorrow evening, later tomorrow night, everything quieting down, setting up for a warm, sultry Friday night. Futurecast tomorrow morning is warm and humid. It's already in the 80s, early clouds and fog, hazy sunshine, hot, humid, no doubt about it, tomorrow afternoon. And by the mid to late afternoon hours, keep an eye to the sky for an isolated thunderstorm. Some could be locally strong. Temps in the 90s and 80s at the beaches. Be patient. It'll start off foggy at the beach in the morning. Hazy sunshine developing by noontime. Another hot day on Saturday, though dry in the low 90s. Warm, but not as hot on Sunday. Partly sunny skies, temps in the mid-80s. Pretty excessive stuff if you earn a living working outdoors, so be careful.
All right, Tony. And Eyewitness News and the Pinpoint Weather Team will be bringing you in-depth coverage of severe weather summer threats all week long.
Coming up tomorrow on Eyewitness News this morning, Rhode Island is aiming to be the first state in the country to become completely storm ready. We'll tell you what that means and how it could help save lives.